What up, world? This is Canberra. Come on now, you know I got soul.
For sure. So just want to start off, congratulating you. 6 Grammy nominations. How big was that for you, especially since you've just started to, make a name for yourself in the industry?
Oh man, it was truly a blessing. I mean, I'm at a point in my career. Obviously, I'm not done yet. I have other things to do.
Yep.
But I'm at a point in my career at 23. People are not fortunate to be at 40 or even their whole life. So I recognize that, and all glory goes to God for that. And it's just truly a blessing. I know that I still have a lot of work to do. So I'm excited, but I don't get too excited because I still want to stay focused on the path of where I need to be, where I'm headed.
Yep, sounds good. And can you kind of just take me back to your beginnings and how you got into producing, and who kind of opened the doors for you?
Well, I began to play the piano at 6. I hated it at first. I grew to love it. 13, I began to really produce for real. I started to take it seriously. 16, I got my first placement with Ne-Yo and Mariah off the Face Off album. That record was called Hood Star. And then, I had a partner, and then, from there, I was, growing up, I was still green to the whole industry. So, my partner was doing everything at that time. And then, I got a manager, and then I started to network with other people, and then one thing led to another. Then I branched out on my own, and then, one thing led to another, and here I am now. So
cool.
It's a great journey.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because you've kind of quickly transitioned from the guy, who had some album cuts to now having singles. So talk about how, you were able to transition so quickly into that.
I mean, shoot, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I guess, it was just the plan. Evidently, I know what I'm worth. I know what I have offered. So as soon as I had the opportunity to shine, I made sure I did that to the highest point. Like having album cuts was cool, and it was great. Got a couple checks, okay, perfect. But at the same time, I know I had more things to offer. I know that change these artists' lives. I know that I have music that can live on. I know I can make an impact on an album. I know that my songs can be the title of the whole album. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew that I had more in store for myself, and having that goal, said to myself, as soon as I get this opportunity, as soon as I get one opportunity or any opportunity, and as soon as that door is cracked, I'm gonna kick it open. I'm gonna walk in, and I'm gonna own this house. So as soon as I got that opportunity, I made sure that plan was fulfilled.
Yeah, cool. Yep. Who are some people who kind of believed in your talents from the beginning? Because I know for a lot of new producers, it always just takes that one placement to make everything happen. So who was kind of with you, by your side, believing in you from the beginning?
Well, I mean, my hero, the biggest fan known to man, hands down, my father.
Yeah.
When I would get discouraged and depressed or whatever, just sad because things on my way, crying if I don't get on an album, things like that. Like he always encouraged me. He always made sure I pushed. He always made sure that him letting me know that he's not going anywhere, and I'm his biggest fan, and he has my best interest. That kind of encouraged me to keep going on, and someday I'll just break through. And I mean, I could name a producer, I could name an artist, I could name a songwriter, that whatever, but like none of them compared to how my father and support and all that stuff. So yeah, man, definitely my father. So he passed away a couple years ago.
Okay.
Matter of fact, yesterday was his birthday.
Oh, okay.
So you know, it was kind of, you know, I mean, now it's okay, but you know, at the end of the day, it's still something that you still miss. It's still, you know, like somebody you love, especially my father. He was somebody that, you know, that would never go away. So definitely a hole there, you know. But at the same time, it's just like, at the end of the day, he was the person.
Yeah.
You know, out of all people, that was there for me. And you know, I just know that if he would see me now, it would be, man, like he'll be so proud of me, and I know that, and everything I do now is for him, and it will always be for him.
Yeah, that's very cool. So, you know, onto the music. You know, can you kind of take me through your creative process in the studio? Because when I listen to your music, I notice that you incorporate a lot of live instruments, a lot of real music. So, just kind of take me through your process.
Okay. Well, I'm a drummer. I love drums. I love things to be heartfelt. Even with playing, things are very real when I create music. To me, like everything, like synths and stuff like that are cool. You know, like a whole bunch of electronical stuff is okay, but you know, I really want to get to your heart. Like, yeah, I can make you dance. Yeah, I can make you twerk, if you will. I can make you do a whole lot of things. But at the same time, I ultimately just want you to feel it. I want you to, you know, like, think about a good time with your family at the end of the day, or I want you to think about love at the end of the day. I want you to think about something that is worth thinking about. You know, so, you know, like incorporating real sounds and, you know, live instruments, instrumentation, you know, organic sonics, if you will. Like, you know, that's what I love to, you know, incorporate the most. So, you know, I'll just, you know, I'll just go through my browser of sounds, and I'll just pick something that is abnormally beautiful. If I could put those two words together, like even if it's like a vocal or something like that, I'll just work my way around that. Then I'll add some drums to it, you know, or I'll just be at the piano and I'll just start there and I'll just, you know, put some chords down and, you know, just put some drums to it and put something that other people wouldn't expect to put in a record. And, you know, even if it doesn't make sense, it'll make sense to me, and I will make it make sense to whoever I'm working with. I mean, I guess that's what makes me stand out. Yeah. And the fact that I could play too, you know, like me actually knowing how to play and put chords together instead of just knowing how to make a beat that loops for 4 minutes straight and no changes or whatnot. I think that I have the upper hand on some people that just do that versus playing with chords and changes and bridges, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And then, you know, with your sound, I know when Love and War came out and Trust and Believe came out around the same time, you know, there were a lot of criticism saying that they sounded very similar. But then I always tell people to look at your whole body of work because you've actually done a lot of different things. So just kind of describe your sound. Do you feel like you have a signature sound, or are you happy being versatile and having different sounds?
Well, both. I mean, I love being versatile. And I love having that versatility that distinguishes me from, you know, just the guy that made Love and War or the guy that just made Fire for Big Sean. Like, I can turn around and do Somewhere in America for Jay-Z, and, you know, and to doing Shattered for the Backstreet Boys back in 2010, 2009. So, you know, then I'll go to the rap side and back to the rap side and do Fire for Big Sean, and then go back to the R&B side and do a Love and War for Tamar Braxton. Now, when Trust and Believe came out, Tamar's people, they kind of wanted a record like that, but not like that, but that same feel.
Yeah.
So, you know, I said, okay, because Trust and Believe was my first single on my own. I mean, you know, Marvin Chardonnay and Refill, you know, all those were co-production. So it wasn't by myself.
Yeah.
So, you know, Trust and Believe was my first, you know, like that's the one that really counted for me because it was on my own. So, you know, okay, well, you know, I mean, that's great. Now I have people that are requesting something like that, so let me just give them something like that, but, you know, kind of switch it up a little bit, but kind of keep it in that lane, because, you know, maybe that could be my sound for myself. Like, people will remember me for that and those. So that's how Love and War came about. And, you know, unfortunately, it did better than what Keyshia Cole's record did. And
yep.
Okay, because that sometimes that happens, you know. And, you know, Tamar was pleased, and that song was nominated for a Grammy this year. So,
yeah.
You know, definitely great things came out of that, and, you know, I'm definitely proud of that record. I'm proud of Trust to Believe. I'm proud of everything I've done in my whole career, let alone, well, especially, you know, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So it's definitely great. Now I feel as though I do have a sound now, and I feel as though, you know, people are learning my my brand and my music, and they're understanding what I have to offer now. So, you know, nothing but great things are coming, and, you know, I'm just truly excited for that, for people to understand and for people to truly see and truly hear what I'm about, and, you know, what's coming about in the near future.
Yeah. And then one of the new songs that just came out that I really like is the one that you did for NeYo, New Love. How did that one come together?
Oh, yeah. Ne-Yo and I, we're like the best of friends. We're like peas and carrots.
Oh.
You know, he's a dear friend to me. We were in the studio working, and, you know, funny story, even like before, like I think he wrapped up his latest album when I first met him, and then, you know, he was quickly working on a new one right after that. So, I know he's a real R&B guy, so when I first met him and I was going to play him some songs, I'm like, okay, what should I play him? So now, you know, I'm with him, I'm meeting him for the first time, I'm playing him songs, and he's going crazy. He stops everything and he says to me, he says, where the F were you when I did my last album?
Yep.
Like, I was laughing, but it was crazy that, you know, like, he gravitated to my music so quickly, and that just showed me that I was, you know, I was doing what I was supposed to do, and I was on the right path, and I wish I was there to give him some songs for his latest album, but shoot, we've been working since then. We've been working on his next album, like the New Love song. That was supposed to be for the album, but he called me and said, you know what, it's Valentine's Day. I feel as though we should put this out for Valentine's Day, you know, give my fans something. You know, I haven't, you know, put nothing out. I haven't put anything out in a while, so I feel as though I could do this. You know, Camper, is it cool for you to do it? I said, you know, but that's fine, it's cool. You know, like, I trust you. It's fun. Like, you know, like, we both, it's cool. But, yeah, that was supposed to be for the new album. However, like, we have a lot of songs that are coming out on a new album that we've done together, so I'm very excited about that. So, you know, him putting that out for, you know, Valentine's Day, or on Valentine's Day, doesn't really hurt me. Like, that's, you know, that's just a sneak peek of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In his latest, in his new album, so coming out soon. So that's how that came about.
Okay.